How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffleRowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So today, we got some new stuff to cover, guys, but we already covered this previously, but I thought we'd cover it again, because actually Pixelpar sent this my way and told me, hey man, you know, I got you, my dude. I got you, my dude. So, Pixelpar, I love this man. He always has information from the inside about Pokemon leaks, Nintendo rumors, and all that stuff. This man is the go-to guy for all this information. And, of course, he runs the website LootPots.com, which he actually just did a post on, rather an article on, saying recruitment for 2019 Pokemon game localization appears to have started. Initially, translations may already be underway. Now, why is this important? Well, we already talked about this previously, guys. As you may know, I already did a video on this. A lot of people don't even, like, you know, kind of miss these things, but I already talked about this because Pixelpar has a podcast, which he specifically with two other individuals talked about this. He mentioned that, you know, there's been kind of some information about the 2019 games and the localization and stuff, so I already knew about this, but in this article here, he goes into this stuff way more in depth, and I'll of course link the article down below if you guys want to check it out on your own. Again, I've already talked about this, but I thought it'd be fun to go through the, you know, all the information throughout the full thing, you know what I mean? Like, just the full thing. So, yeah, let's get into all this stuff, guys. Let's see what it's all about. Of course, please check out lootpots.com. Check out this article on your own if you want to read it on your own. Or at least just do me the favor and just go on the website and just, you know, make sure that, you know, Pixelpar knows that you've been there. Show the man some love. If it wasn't for him, you know, we wouldn't know about a lot of these things, especially Let's Go and stuff. He gave us a lot of information about that, so this man is a legend. I love him. Definitely check him out, guys. Either way, let's get into the actual information right now, shall we? So let's get started. So, recruitment for 2019 Pokemon game localization appears to have started. I'm speaking really fast right now. So, initial translations for the next Pokemon game may be already underway. And here we go, Pokemon 2019. A localization for the highly anticipated 2019 Pokemon game may have already been in the works, if recent activity from the Pokemon Company International is anything to go by. The London office behind most European Pokemon translations has started a recruitment drive to expand their localization team. It's an all too familiar pattern, a pattern that usually happens a few months before the next Pokemon title is set to be revealed. Games need translating, translations need people need recruiting. However, this year, there's a twist. Not only does it appear to be happening slightly earlier than in previous years, there are also indicators that the localization work may have carried over straight from Pokemon Let's Go. Now, recruitment for Pokemon 2019 localization. Within the last 48 hours at the time of writing, the Pokemon Company International has started rolling out various recruitment ads for translators and localization job roles. While not all of these are specifically advertised as working on video games, the vast majority are. Those include localization specialists, Japanese to German, 1-year fixed-term contract, localization from computer games, in-game text, manuals, strategy guides, and website. Localization associate, 1-year fixed term, support, coordinate video game localization, includes working with translation teams, Q&A management, and as well as marketing and etc. Freelance translators, Japanese to German, again, the same one as we had up there, but this one doesn't have a fixed term. This one just says localization for computer games, in-game text, manual, strategy guides, and website. Freelance translator, Japanese to Spanish, localization for computer games, in-game text, manuals, strategy guides, website. You know, kind of goes through the same here with, you know, Japanese freelance translator, Japanese to France, same thing, you know, localization for computer games, in-game text, manual, strategy guides, website. Freelance translator, Japanese to Italian, localization for computer games, in-game text, manuals, strategy guides, and websites, of course. Now, all of the above positions were posted by the London office responsible for most of the European Pokemon translations. The jobs and roles advertised also reflect those seen during the localization of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go, and Pokemon Quest. So I think, you know, he links here back to the old tweet back from the 16th of March. I remember this, as I covered this in another video of mine, because we'd actually done like me and my friend Micah, who, you know, also messaged me about this whole thing. Me and Micah specifically talked about this and did some investigating of our own, and discovered this stuff through the Game Freak website and their, you know, recruitment in there, and that sort of stuff as well. And also some recruitment websites on the internet that, you know, just kind of like were advertising that, you know, they need people to work on localization. And this is the old one here, the Pokemon Company International Chart of Potential Switch Jobs, 2017 to 2018, Japanese to French, German, Italian, Spanish, to translate everything necessary for the localization of computer games, including in-game text, manuals, and strategy guides. So yeah, this is the old stuff. We've already talked about this in the past. You guys already know about this. It's, it's nothing new seeing this. We've already talked about this. For anybody who's new to the channel, you may not understand this, but this was the old localization jobs. For example, Editor VG, which was, the person to kind of, handle all that, and yeah, it's interesting. So let's continue the actual article here. So the jobs roles advertised also reflect those seen during the localization of Pokemon Let's Go, and Pokemon Quest. While the roles do not explicitly state, also should probably lower the volume of this music, my dudes. Let's see, those seen during the localization of Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Quest. While those roles do not explicitly state that the work is for a mainline Pokemon title, the inclusion of a strategy guides in the description and the mainline RPG's late 2019 release window leaves little to the imagination. So, we'll discuss the rest of my opinions on this in a second. Has localization already begun on the next games? Although nothing has officially been confirmed, it's very likely that the localization for 2019 Pokemon titles may have already begun. Game localization isn't as straightforward as hiring a single translator and pasting their text into a game. There are often multiple freelancers working on translations for the same language. They are coordinated by another person. The translators need checking, editing, and proofreading before being brought into the game, where they're usually checked over again, not to mention the additional work required for the strategy guides. Just because the Pokemon Company is hiring freelance translators now, doesn't mean that there aren't others currently working on localization. Based on our own research, we can say that with reasonable confidence that translation work, that should have stopped earlier this year, has continued past the previous title's release. So unless another spin-off title is in the works, then this would likely suggest that the initial localization on the next Pokemon game is already underway. As with all unofficial news though, no matter how likely, we recommend that you take it with a nice grain of salt until Nintendo or the Pokemon Company provide official confirmation. Everything else remains rumor and speculation. So, yes, this is a rumor and speculation, guys. Now, let's start speculating. This is where the fun comes in, guys. So, first things first, this has happened previously, guys. This happened last year, as you guys may know, or rather this year, sorry, not last year, but this happened this year as well for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now, the interesting part about this whole topic, which is the one that I think has the most value to it, if we're going to be honest, the one that has the most value to it is the one that they are continuing, like the translation work that started this year is seemingly continuing without stopping, and they're just getting more people on board, right? They're just kind of getting more people into the whole fray, just kind of, I guess, to expand upon things, which is interesting because, you would expect them to just kind of like, stop the Let's Go, the ones we assumed were the Let's Go translator, or stop their contract or whatever, or just kind of, end it with them, and then kind of bring in new people. Apparently, those are still working, which is really interesting, because the question then is, like, have they been working for, like, a full year already for translations? Which then adds the question, does this mean that the next Pokemon game, Generation 8, Pokemon Switch 2019, is going to be that big that they really need more people to help them with translations to get the game out next year in time, with everything being translated for all the, all the different languages now, and also, of course, marketing, which you guys may have noticed with Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, we had a huge increase in marketing. We had a lot of, like, for example, I'm in Sweden, right? I live in Sweden, so I see, Swedish advertisements all the time. And one thing I've never seen in Sweden before, and this is just me, by the way, this may be different for other Swedish people, but I live in Sweden, and I've never before in my life, until now this year, I've never seen this much, I mean, this excessive amount of advertising for a Pokemon game. Never before have I seen it. Every single billboard, every single, like, bus stop where you have those, advertising billboard things, I have never in those places before seen Pokemon advertisements, or at least that many Pokemon advertisements. It was ludicrous, the amount they've been advertising the Let's Go games. So, the fact that they're, like, hiring in more people for the marketing, for the in-game text, for all this stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if they, need more people in all regards, because they're going to expand even more upon their marketing areas for all of the, the Generation 8 stuff. So, that wouldn't surprise me. It honestly makes a lot of sense, and I think it would be great, because Generation 8, I hope it gets a lot of advertisement for it, so a lot of people buy the games, so that, just the games do well, because that's what I want them to do. I want them to, perform really good. Now, what else do we have in here? Well, it's a question about how much is there really, you know what I mean? If this is like, because let's be honest, guys, let me just back off a little bit. let's be honest, the amount of stuff there must be in this game, if they're hiring more people, if they're keeping the old people, right, that were doing the Let's Go stuff, translations, and keeping those on board saying, hey, we need you more, okay, and then hiring more people on top of that to do even more translating, that's incredible. That means that whatever they're translating right now, it's either going to be either the guys who did the Let's Go translations are working on a spin-off game, or they've been working on the 2019 game, for a very long time. Of course, we had Pokemon Quest, which was also translated by these same people, as well as, Pokemon Let's Go. So they kept them there, which means the next game, next year, either we're getting a gigantic, and I mean like a really huge Pokemon Generation 8 with a ton of stuff in it, or option number 2 could be that we're going to be getting some sort of spin-off title similar to Pokemon Quest in our hands, or maybe even DLC for Pokemon Quest, because keep in mind, Pokemon Quest does have in-game files that show the whole Pokedex all the way up until 808, I think, up 808, right, which would be Meltan then, I guess, and then 809 wasn't included, which was a little bit strange, wasn't there in the list, but that could also be just a false flag, but could be that. But I think most likely what's happening is the Gen 8 game is going to be huge, okay? They said, specifically, Ishihara never really states that, like, whenever, Ishihara gets involved, for me, that's interesting. Because Ishihara specifically, if you saw my previous video today, Ishihara specifically said, okay, 2019 game, it's going to be big. It will be worth the wait, is what he said. It will be worth the wait, which to me, that sounds very interesting, because you never really hear them say that. I mean, they of course say, like, oh, it's gonna be a good game, blah, 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 right? But you never hear them say, like, it's gonna be worth the wait. It's gonna be worth the wait. Trust in us, it's gonna be worth the wait. That makes me very intrigued. Like, okay, Ishihara, okay. I'll take you up on that. Let me see. What am I waiting for? What is this thing that you're telling me that, it's worth waiting for? What is it? I'm very curious. You've really got me intrigued, Ishihara. I want to know what you got on the plate. What you got on the plate, my dude? What you got? So that gets me very excited and gets me very intrigued into knowing, what are we going to be getting? It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be huge. I'm really curious, guys. So let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think about these translations? What do you think about this whole thing? What are your opinions on the localization stuff? I know that I get very intrigued by it. And of course, big thank you. Big thank you to Pixelpar for sharing this. I'm just gonna, retweet this real quick as well. This is fantastic. Big shout out to this man. He is a legend. So big thank you to Pixelpar for sending this my way, and of course for having, taking the time out of his day to share this news with us. Great man. Also check out his website, LootPots, and his also podcast called the Potscast, which is a great name, by the way. But definitely check it out, guys. And either way, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like down below. If you want to see more Pokemon news, rumors, leaks, all that stuff, and also shiny hunting streams, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you all in the next one. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.